I'm Sari.
And I'm Haley.
And this is Seamwork Radio. Welcome back to Seamwork Radio, where we share practical ideas for building a creative process so you can sew with intention and joy. Today, we're talking about our favorite types of projects to sew in linen. So we're going to cover why linen is such an amazing fabric for warm weather sewing, what to look for when you're choosing a pattern to sew with linen, and 10 project ideas you can make in linen right now. All right, Haley, our icebreaker for today. What's your favorite trick for getting wrinkles out when you don't have an iron handy?
Probably get the fabric wet or damp. If I'm traveling and the place I'm staying doesn't have an iron, or maybe I'm being lazy, I like to make sure I always hang up my clothes immediately upon arrival. And then if I need to get some wrinkles out, I just get it damp either by hanging it up in the bathroom when I'm taking a shower, or I'll wet my hands and kind of blot my wet hands on the garment. You can take a hair dryer to it, flat iron.
You're taking all my tricks.
Oh, gosh. There's lots of little ones, but I'm kind of lazy when it comes to ironing, so I use all of them frequently.
Me too. Yeah, my favorite is the shower trick. I just hang it up in the shower, let the steam get it, and then if it still has some wrinkles, I will take the hairdryer to it and just kind of stretch out the fabric a little bit, try to undo the wrinkles while I apply some heat from the hairdryer.
Yeah, I like the lengths that will go to avoid ironing.
I know. I really will. I do not enjoy getting out the ironing board, especially because I have to leave it out while the iron cools, and then the cats jump on it, and it just becomes a whole thing with the animals.
I used to travel with that iron release spray because it's just like so handy. And a lot of times you can find it in like the travel, like toiletries section, and it can be kind of handy. But I ran out and never repurchased it. But
yeah, that's helpful. All right. Well, if you have a question for us that we could use as an icebreaker on a future episode, you can leave it in a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and we'll answer it in a future episode. All right, today we're talking about one of my favorite fabrics to sew with, which is linen. So I have a YouTube video coming out that's all about sewing with linen this week. So if the ideas that we share today get you interested in learning even more about linen and hearing kind of my best tips for sewing with linen, head over to the YouTube channel and subscribe for some of my favorite tips, because it's going to be an awesome video. But today on the podcast, Haley and I are sharing our favorite ideas and projects for sewing with linen. So, Haley, have you started planning your summer sewing yet?
I actually have started planning my summer sewing because I'm going on a trip in April. I'm going to Mexico, and I want to sew some things, but I also don't want to sew a bunch of one-off, just like vacation-y garments. So I decided to get a little head start on my summer sewing. My summer wardrobe is also like the most sad and part of my wardrobe. So I thought it was a good excuse to give it a little extra love. So I have started on it, surprisingly. What about you?
I've started thinking about it. I'm working on my spring wardrobe right now. And if you watch the YouTube channel, you know that I'm attempting to create a capsule wardrobe for spring this year. And at least for a period of time, only wear things in that capsule, just to kind of give myself some constraints and be a little bit more creative with what I have and what I'm making. So because of that, I feel a little bit locked in to what I'm sewing for spring. Yeah. So whenever I see another cool idea, I'm like, oh, I'll sew that in summer. I'll sew that in the summer. So I started collecting ideas for summer already, but I haven't gotten that far with it. I'm pretty excited about it already. I love summer. It's one of my favorite times of the year, summer and fall.
I love summer, but I just get so busy that I spend a lot of time in my garden. So I think like my summer wardrobe really takes a back seat, which is why I'm excited to start early on it this year. Give it some love.
I don't do as much sewing in the summer as I do at other times of year, for sure.
Are you planning on making anything in linen right now?
I am for spring. I'm planning to make the Madu top, which I'm going to be adding some smocking details to, which I mentioned, I think, in the last episode. And I'm really, really excited about that. I got a huge piece of linen, of like lightweight white linen from our fabric swap, our Seamwork fabric swap that we had a few months ago here in Portland. And I'm really excited about making this top because I'm going to be adding these really cool details to it. So that's the only thing I think I have planned in linen for spring. What about you? Are you making anything in linen right now?
I am making some Joss pants.
Mm.
Literally this morning cut out a pair of blue Joss pants in a washed linen that's really nice. I'm treating it as kind of a wearable muslin. It was just a fabric I had in my stash. I wanted to make a blue pair, but this blue isn't like quite the blue I was envisioning,
Mm.
but I like it. So I'm just kind of treating it as a little bit of a trial run. I'm modifying them a bit, so it's a little bit of an experiment.
Oh, how are you modifying that?
I wanted to make them a little bit more like swingy, palazzo-y, but more A-line, not necessarily more waist gather, but more A-line. I did size up one size and I added like a little bit more like sweep
Mm.
to the legs. And I'm going to see how it goes, right? I think that Joss has like a wide but fairly straight cut, and I just want it like a little bit more swishy
Ooh, I
than
can't
that.
wait to see them.
But as soon as I'm done with that and I have those perfected, I have a green and white pair of linen gingham that I'm going to sew it in,
Ooh,
and I'm
that sounds
excited.
pretty.
I think it'll be cute with like easy to like dress up and down. Like I can wear a camisole with it, or I can do like a band tee, and it'll be kind of fun for every day.
The dark green or a lighter green?
It's like a chartreusey lighter green.
Ooh.
I have it with me. I'll show it to you after this.
All right. I'm really into chartreuse right now. Like yellowy greens. I love them.
Yeah, wait till you see my summer mood board. It's filled with it. What are some of your favorite things about linen?
Well, I love that linen is so breathable. That's one of my number one things about it. It's just very breathable, especially when it's hot out. It just feels great to wear.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like not wearing clothing, which would be my preferred state in the summer, I think.
Yeah.
So I love it for that reason. I think it looks really chic and just relaxed. You know, it wrinkles very easily. We all know that about linen probably. You have to deal with wrinkles when you wear linen, but I think that's just kind of part of it. And it kind of adds to that sort of rumpled, comfortable, but chic look.
Yeah.
So I just love it. I think it's one of the best fabrics in summer to sew with and to wear. And it's easy to sew, too.
Yeah, it is really fun to sew.
Mm-hmm.
I love how it presses. It's just very satisfying to sew. But I also agree that I think that it's very chic because it just has that like effortless, I woke up like this kind of air to it. And I really like that. Something that's really important to me in my clothing is that it never feels like too overdone. And I think that if something is something that's like inherently like a little bit more structured or a little bit more fussy, making it out of linen instantly kind of like just makes it more effortless and everyday. And I really like that. I wear a ton of it in the summertime.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's basically all I wear in the summertime. Which leads me to the first garment that I'd like to talk about because it's my ultimate favorite summertime staple to wear, which is a linen button-up shirt. I love it. I can't get enough of it. So a classic button-up just looks really relaxed and soft in linen. Like I was saying, I don't like things to look too stuffy. So instead of like a button up being made in like an Oxford or a shirting, which can have like a certain crispness and almost preppiness to it sometimes, making it in linen instantly just makes it feel more cool, both temperature and vibes. Cool. You can get a really light and airy linen or find something that's a little bit more heavy and crisp. Linen holds a press really well, so you can get crisp, tailored edges on the plackets, on the collars, on the cuffs, all of those good things. I also love a linen shirt because it can be layered over sleeveless tops or dresses and go-to summertime outerwear piece. If you're a layering queen like I am, it's a great way to add layers to your summertime wardrobe without being overheated. It's still very cool and breathable for summer. And it also has the added benefit of giving you some sun protection. If you spend a ton of time outside in the summer like I do, it can be really nice to cover up your neck and your arms with a long sleeve linen shirt. Some patterns you can use would be the Rachel shirt or my personal favorite, the Roan tunic, which is that perfect oversized shirt. If you like that kind of like oversized menswear influence, Roan might be perfect for you. If you like something that's a little bit more slim cut, Rachel is really great. Do you have any linen shirts in your wardrobe, Sari?
Yes, definitely. My My favorite thing about a linen button-up is I love to take it when I travel in the summer
Mhm.
because I can just take, like, a black really simple black, like, tank dress or, a knit dress. I can use the linen button-up as a outer layer over that, and
Mhm.
you get a lot more bang for your buck, and then you can wear it with pants or wear it with a skirt later, so you get another outfit out of it, so I love it for travel.
A swimsuit cover up at the beach or at the
Mhm.
pool, very chic.
Yeah, absolutely. So I love that. I also love them for gardening because they're
Mhm.
nice and cool, but they protect button-ups are great because they protect the back of your neck. So if you're out in the sun a lot, you wear a hat, you wear a button-up with a collar, and you're covered. So I love that. The next idea that we have for using linen is to make some classic summer trousers. I really love a pair of linen trousers in the summer. I think something with simple lines that isn't too tight is best for me because I don't like to be really constricted in the summer. So I like something that is not necessarily loose, but that has some ease to it. So remember that it's all about breathability when it comes to linen. So I like to make the most of that factor when I'm thinking about what to sew with it. So if you're looking for a good pair of linen trousers to try, you might try the Aran trousers from Seamwork because they're really simple. They have a very classic shape and there's no waistband. So they just have a very streamlined look. And I just think linen trousers are one of those summertime staples. I have a pair in my wardrobe mine are thrifted from years and years ago. They're like a natural color linen, very, very simple, classic cut. And I wear them every single summer, all the time. So it's one of those things you'll just have in your wardrobe forever and ever.
Yeah, I love a pair of linen trousers. The one of the samples for the Aran trousers is a white linen, and I fell in love with them at the photo shoot. They're so chic.
Yeah. So if you go to our website and you look up the Erin trousers there, it's Erin. You'll see them in white linen.
All right, our next favorite thing to make in linen is summer pajamas. If you want to stay cool in the summer pajamas in a nice lightweight linen is actually totally ideal. Once again, the sharp creases that you get on linen make it a really good choice for a classic pajama set with tailored details like collars and chest pockets. And the breathability of linen makes it a really great choice to wear at night too. It will get very wrinkled when you sleep in them. Just embrace it. It's part
Yeah.
of the look, it's part of the charm. You might want to try making the leaf pajama set, which is our take on the classic pajamas. It is very classic. If you're not a pajama set person, you can also go for the bonus sleep shirt, which is my personal favorite and would be my go-to in making a pair of summer pajamas for myself. I
Yeah.
can't be bothered with pants and waistbands when I'm sleeping in the summertime.
That would be very comfy and nice to if you're, having breakfast outside in the summer or something like that. You can kind of take it outside too, which is nice.
Oh, that's just like giving me visions of like most romantic version of my life, romanticized version of my life.
I like to eat outside whenever possible in the summer. I was just having a cup of coffee on the porch. It's what summer's all about for me. All right, the next idea that we have for you is making a vest top. So, if you want to look really chic and stay cool at the same time, I absolutely love the idea of making a matching set of trousers with a vest top. You can also layer a vest over a long sleeve shirt once it starts to get cooler. So, it's one of those pieces that you can keep in your wardrobe trans-seasonally. You can keep it throughout the entire year and wear it in different ways. So, because of that, I think it would be nice to sew it in a darker color personally, like black or a dark tan or even brown. But of course, white or cream obviously looks really summery and just feels really chic in linen. We have a great vest pattern called the Auto Vest. You can check out for this, and I think it would look amazing with the Aran trousers that I mentioned earlier. I actually just saw a blog post, or actually it was on a Substack newsletter yesterday about what to wear to weddings in the spring and summer if you don't want to wear a dress or you don't want to buy a new dress for every wedding occasion. And it mentioned wearing matching sets like this, either a jacket and pants or a vest and pants, that kind of thing, or a top and pants that match. And I think that's such a cool idea, just kind of like a modern pantsuit kind of thing, which
I
I think
love that.
looks great.
I do love a linen suit,
Hmm.
so why not?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a take on that.
All right, our next garment is a duster coat. Like I was talking about earlier, if you're someone who loves to layer but maybe feels a little bit uninspired in the warmer months because you don't get to do that as much, a duster coat is a great option. You can sew an unlined longer coat that you can wear as a light duster coat in the spring and fall, or even summer evenings, depending on the temperature. I think a loose linen duster looks really pretty over a dress or a skirt. You can try out the indigo coat. For example, it's an unlined car coat and it has a little bit longer length on it. The softness of the linen is going to give it a whole different look, especially if you wash it and as you wear it over time. You can even add a belt and some belt loops to give it a little bit more shape if that's your preferred silhouette.
Yeah, I just love a linen trench coat type
Mm-hmm.
jacket. I just think it looks so chic and it's really versatile when it gets warmer. It's really nice because I think sometimes I forget that you still need those pieces in the evening sometimes, depending on the temperature. So it's nice to have a few lighter weight pieces like that for summer. And you can wear them usually in fall and spring too.
Yeah, I find that linen layers really well in the spring and the fall because once you get, like a merino t-shirt or something underneath, it can actually be a little quite insulating.
Yeah, agreed. The next idea is a smock dress. So, a loose fitting smock dress, I think, is just crying out for linen because it's so floaty and so breathable. You can wear it as a dress, you can wear it as a cover up, you can use it as a nightgown. I think there's just so many different ways to wear it. So, a smock dress is basically just a loose fitting dress. Just imagine like kind of a romantic, flowy, loose fitting dress made in linen. I made the Baker dress, the Seymour Baker dress, in a sheer white linen, and I added some really pretty lace details. And I think it's one of the prettiest dresses I own, and it is super comfortable in the summer. It's just so floaty, stands away from my body. It's really breathable, and it looks very pretty. It just has that pretty Scandinavian midsummer
Mm-hmm.
style that, is just so nice to wear in the summer. So it's a great use for linen. I think one of the great things about linen is how amazing it looks with all those little details, especially with lace. Linen and lace together are just like a classic pairing.
Yeah, it's nice to see it in contrast with those more precious things like pin tucks or lace, and I think it really lends like an easiness to the look. All right, well, carrying on with those pretty romantic vibes, a romantic top looks amazing in linen. Linen lends itself really well to detailed tops with pretty trims and ruffles. Just be sure to use a linen that's a little bit more lightweight. Heavyweight linens are going to stick out and away from your body, which can be a little bit extreme, especially if you're creating something that has lots of gathers or ruffles on it. So just watch out for that. A handkerchief linen or a sheer linen work really well for romantic tops. If you're not into ruffles but still want something that feels a little bit romantic, the sage blouse is really a great option. It's one of my favorites. It has a body kind of skimming cut with princess seams, a V-neck, and beautiful long full-length sleeves. It's one of my favorite tops that we've put out in the last year for sure. Sarah, you made one recently.
Yeah, I made sage twice. I made it in a Liberty a Tonalon, and then I also made a dress version of it. I lengthened it into a dress, and we have videos about that on YouTube as well. And I absolutely love that top. I think it's just so pretty, so wearable, and it looks great in so many fabrics, and I think it would be fantastic in linen for sure.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of your red one. So pretty. And that is one thing that's great about this pattern is it's incredibly wearable. It's kind of a throw-on piece that you can wear with jeans or your favorite trousers. Yeah, it's great. Maybe I should make one.
Yeah, I like the length too. I think it looks good either tucked in or not tucked in. I normally tuck in all my tops, but I feel like that one looks great untucked too.
When we were fitting that, I was always like, it has to be tuck-inable, but also a cute length when it's not tucked in. I don't want it to look schlumpy.
Yeah, it looks great. The next one is another favorite of mine, which is a bias cut skirt. I just think linen looks so beautiful when it's cut on the bias because it has such a wonderful flow to it. It's not quite as slinky as silk, so it feels a little bit easier to wear for daytime, and it's also cooler than silk. The Desi skirt that we have is really nice because it has an elastic waist, so it's really comfortable to throw on, even with just a t-shirt or a tank. So if you made this skirt in linen, you could wear just any comfortable top with it and instantly just look lovely for summer and be super, super comfortable. And if you want something shorter than that, because Desi is, what is that, about knee length, a little bit
Mhm.
below maybe? We also have another bias cut skirt called the Everly, which I'm actually making for my spring wardrobe right now. And that is a 2-layer mini skirt that's cut on the bias. It's mini, but it's not too mini. It's not like super, super short. So I'm really excited about making that one. And I think that would look amazing in linen. I think one of the samples we have up on the website is made in linen, if I remember correctly. It might be a chambray. It's like a light blue color.
Yeah, I think it was like a linen chambray. I
Mhm.
think that pattern is one of our most underrated patterns. I'm
Oh,
a
it's
big fan.
lovely. It's so cute. I'm really excited to make it this spring. So be sure to head over to YouTube if you want to see what I actually end up making with it. And there should be a video. Hopefully it's up by now by the time you're listening to this. I'm sure it will be on everything that I'm making for spring. So you'll get to see kind of my spring sewing plan. And then the end of spring, I'm posting another video with everything that I actually made from that plan. So the Everly will definitely be on there.
Awesome. I can't wait to see that. All right. And next, one of our favorite things to make is a lightweight jumpsuit. I think sometimes when people think of jumpsuits, they think of flight suits or boiler suits, which tend to have long sleeves and feel really covered up. But you can make some really gorgeous summery jumpsuits in linen as well. The great thing about jumpsuits in the summer is that it's a one and done outfit, but it has all the mobility and the coverage of wearing pants, which is great if you're really active in the summer. I really like the Dell jumpsuit in linen because it has that nice loose fit, so it's really easy to wear when it's hot. If you prefer something that has a little bit more shape to it, Michelle is also a really beautiful choice. It has that beautiful elastic waistband, and I really like the surplice detail in the back neckline on that. It just feels like a little bit more elevated to me. And since it's sleeveless, both of these patterns are, in fact, it's really easy to layer over something if you want more coverage or warmth in other seasons, almost kind of like a lightweight linen overall.
Yeah. I really like Dell because it's so loose fitting and it has those cool elastic straps. I
Yeah.
couldn't think of the word for some reason. Straps on top. I just think it's just really cute and it has interesting details to kind of dress it up a little bit and very, very comfy. And then our final idea for you for linen is to make linen shorts, which are a summertime staple in my wardrobe personally. So there's a couple ways you can go with linen shorts. You can either go really crisp and tailored. So we have a pair of shorts called the Effie shorts that I love. I'm hoping to make these in summer. This is one of the things that I'm like, oh, I should make them in summer because they don't fit into my spring plan. But they are just so cute. They're a pair of high-waisted shorts with kind of a tailored look, and they have a curved hem on the bottom, which I think is just so pretty. So if you wanted to do something that's a little bit more structured and tailored, that's a great choice. Or you could try something with an easy elastic waist. So we have the Kirby shorts, for example, that have an elastic waist, and that is something that is just really easy to wear. I have 2 pairs of elastic waist shorts that I wear all the time in the summer. They're just like, I think the thing about summer dressing is the rest of the year, I'm willing to put a lot of thought into my outfits and think about layering and how I want to put things together. And in the summer, I'm just like, I'm going to throw this on and put on a t-shirt and get out the door. So I think an elastic waist short is a really great choice for me personally because of that. So that's just kind of like my no-brainer. And I think linen is just the perfect fabric for shorts for that time of year for sure. So those are our ideas for sewing with linen. So if you're starting to kind of think about what to make for summer, I think these are all some fabulous ideas. I'm going to recap them for you real quick. We talked about a button-up shirt. We talked about making some classic summer trousers. We talked about summer pajamas. I mentioned a vest top like the Otto, which I think would look amazing with those trousers that I mentioned. So I talked about the Aran trousers with the Otto vest top. It's just such a cool look. A duster coat, so transforming a car coat or a trench coat into more of a duster for summer. A loose smock dress. A romantic pretty top, maybe with some little details added to it. A bias cut skirt, a lightweight jumpsuit, especially something that's sleeveless that you can layer over things later, and linen shorts. So those are all the awesome ideas that we have for you today for sewing with linen. And remember about that video that's coming out on linen this week too, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more in a sec. So what's your big takeaway from this episode, Haley?
I think that my big takeaway is something I hear a lot from our community members and when I used to teach and when I worked in a fabric store was that people avoided linen because they don't like the wrinkliness of linen. And just going over this list of garments and thinking about my own favorite linen pieces, I think that if you're a person who is scared off by those wrinkles, that trying to embrace the rumpled look of the fabric rather than fighting against it is something that I would encourage you to do. I think that when we select garments with that in mind, that we can like really use linen to its full potential. So yeah, just like a little like brain pivot.
Yeah.
If you struggle to think of, or, you struggle with the look of linen fabric.
I think for me, what comes to mind is that sometimes it can be really fun to just think about what your favorite fabrics to sew with or to wear are and kind of work from there to figure out what you want to make. I think that can be a really fun way to pick out pieces for yourself because fabric is such a huge part of the success of any project. And if you know the fabric is something that you're going to love, like for me, linen is one, silk, certain knits, I absolutely love them. It can be kind of fun to work backwards from there and make pieces based on your favorite fabrics.
Yeah, that's such a good tip. We hear so often that fabric is one of the biggest struggles that people have. And that's a great way to kind of ensure that you have more success in your sewing projects.
Yeah, so hopefully all these ideas, if you love linen like we do, give you some thoughts about how you can work backward from that fabric and come up with some things that you're going to absolutely love to wear. All right. Well, if you liked this episode, please leave us a review. We would love to hear from you. You can also follow us on YouTube at Seamwork Video. You can follow us on Instagram at Seamwork. And if you'd like to become part of the Seamwork community, head over to seamwork.com/go/podcast to learn how to join. Oh, and before I forget, if you want to learn more about sewing with linen, including my best tips for buying it and creating with it, be sure to check out that YouTube video later this week over at the Seamwork YouTube channel. And we also created a cheat sheet for sewing with linen that goes with that video. So we'll put a link to that in the show notes, or it will be in the notes on the video itself if you head over to YouTube and watch that. So that should be really, really helpful for you. Well, that is it for us this week. I'm Sari.
And I'm Haley.
And this is Seamwork Radio. Seamwork Radio is brought to you by the team at Seamwork. Seamwork's an online community that supports you in creating a wardrobe that feels right for you. When you join us at Seamwork, you become part of our private community of makers, and you also get access to monthly sew-along classes, a library of over 200 sewing patterns, and tons of great resources to help guide you through the sewing adventure that you choose. Podcast listeners can get half off a Seamwork Unlimited membership, which means you can download as many of those 200 plus patterns as you want at any time, and our community will be there to guide and support you. If you'd like to join us for half off, just visit seamwork.com/go/podcast50. You can also find us on Instagram at Seamwork or visit our YouTube channel, which is called Seamwork Video. We love hearing from you, so let us know if there's a topic or a personal story that you'd like us to cover. Thanks for listening to Seamwork Radio.